Hi, I'm Sally. I'm part of the ROC Taunton Dean mentoring scheme. I get alongside a family who's got a young boy, and my aim was to help her move into her own flat so she could be independent from her own family. She'd had some alcohol addiction problems in the past, and it became very apparent once I started working with her that she needed some parenting skills as well. So very quickly she moved into her own flat, decorated it, did a wonderful job, and I managed to get her involved into a local parenting scheme, which was just brilliant. So we went to that on a regular basis. So it seemed like she was achieving her goals very quickly and doing really well, and it was just a privilege to get alongside her. Then it all started to fall apart a bit. In July, she started drinking again, and I think with a bit more time on her hands. And I've arranged to meet up with her a few times, and she didn't answer the door because she was drunk in bed. And really the whole mentoring thing began to fall apart a bit. It was obviously quite discouraging at that point, but then there was a huge change around. She phoned me up very shortly after that when she was drunk and said, "Sally, I really want you to help me." She said, "I'm desperate to get out of this alcohol addiction. I know I need to for my son. Can I come and stay at your house and work on your farm as rehab?" Well, I'm not trained at all in alcohol addiction. I'm not a professional. And I thought, wow, I'd love to have her to come and stay, but really that wasn't the way forward. So I asked her, "Do you want to go into rehab? And if you do, maybe I can help you to do that." And she said, "Yes, I really do." So anyway, I made a couple of inquiries and found out about a place called the Gilead Foundation. That night, I'm quite an action person, I cracked on, I gave them a call, and it was out of hours, so I ended up speaking to a support worker who was just absolutely lovely. She told me how the scheme worked. It was very long term, and it became very apparent quite quickly there were some huge hurdles that my mentee would have to overcome to be able to go in there. Some of them were the fact it was a 12-month scheme. She wouldn't be able to have a little boy there with her, which was a massive deal. It would cost her, she'd have to give up her flat. There were lots of issues going on here. So anyway, I think that was on the Wednesday. A couple of days later, all the information from Gilead arrived. So I took it all, went to see her with her family, and we sat down and discussed it, and they were all so on board for going. A couple of things were just brilliant. The fact that she milked cows, the fact that she loves outdoor life, and that was the jobs that they do at this Gilead Foundation. They do chickens, they do cows, they do horticulture. So it just really seemed to fit her. So anyway, we sat down that night with her family. Her family were really, really happy to take on the care of her little boy, which is a massive deal for 12 months, but they were really happy to support, and they were really absolutely behind her to go into rehab for 12 months. Anyway, I think that was the Wednesday. On the Friday, they went to Gilead to go and see it. We chatted to the people there. Again, it just seemed just such the right place for her, and she felt very at home. So that was the Friday. And then on the Monday, we ended up taking her, packed up all her stuff, ended up going and getting enrolled. And she's there now, and she's doing really, really well. She's obviously had a few tough weeks, not being able to drink and coming off that, but she's done really well, really loved the support and the community there that are really getting behind her. So that's been brilliant. Her little boy's settled down quite well with her family, which is great news. I've been working with her mum, sorting out her old flat and getting that ready to give back to the landlord. And one of the reasons I'm doing this video is to see if you want to partner with us to help her pay her last month's rent, because she's actually funding her own place at Gilead. And obviously going in so quickly, which was the right thing for her, means that the month's notice she had to give means she's £550 that she still has to pay on her flat. And I would love to bless her by being able to pay that. And I just wonder if you want to partner with me to help her do that and bless her and bless her family so that she can do it debt-free and come out at the other end and just really be able to start a new life again. And I guess that's what the ROC Mentor scheme is all about, is getting alongside people through the highs and lows and actually helping them to move on, turn their lives around, and really just embrace life in its fullness and actually move on. And it's been a privilege to be part of her journey.